What's the uses on that? And this side you got. Your thoughts on. So. Yeah. Just like everybody else does. Yeah. Thank you for helping. I wish you would have got closer. I know.
When it comes off.
It's nothing crazy.
This is just.
Yeah. Good week is done. Well, rain's gonna come in here next week.
How you doing?
So hopefully that will.
Doing all right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You?
Hopefully. I did, me neither. That is so cute. I like it, you know. She'll take those in my.
You can do it. You can do it.
We could.
No, right.
Make sure.
Okay, folks, I guess we're gonna start the meeting. Of course, as you know, this isn't our regular date. We had to put it off because of the way the roads were and the snow that, thank God, we didn't get a ton of. But we certainly got the sleet and the ice, and that's what made a mess. So let's open the meeting. You will, please. Councilmember Yancey. Here. Councilmember Miller. Here. Councilmember Hilliker. Councilmember Turner.
Here.
Councilmember Rains.
Here.
Councilmember Vickers. Here. Councilmember Dawson.
Here.
Councilmember Draper.
Here.
Mayor. Here. And I. Okay, we stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, guide our hearts, our souls, and our minds as we go forward at this meeting tonight. Pray for those that are still without electricity and that their safety and future is reconnected and their lives are put back together. Thank you for this huge storm missing us and going the other way. Amen. Okay, so normally we would go into a review of the minutes and stuff, but Chris was asked to come tonight so he could talk a little bit about the snow removal and the issues that we had. And I really don't want to keep him here through the whole meeting, just for him to say something about what went on. I do want to start with the real preface of what did go on. because the stuff that was on the internet was way out of control. First, Chris and I had talked 2 days before this stuff showed up. We had it all planned out. Plows were on the trucks. We let people take the trucks home that night so that they had them available to them to start the roads. And we were set up, and thank God we didn't get what they said. But what people don't seem to understand is, once we got the dusting of snow, that sleet is what did us in. You're not gonna plow ice, not with the equipment we have here. If you have a full-size snow plow like we have up north, yeah, 500 pound blade, that'll push the ice and crust out, but we can't do that with 2 pickup trucks. We just cannot do it. The crews were out though, they did get the roads plowed. They got the main sections open, which is the first line of defense and what we do for ambulances and first responders. There are areas that are still rough. Chris makes these decisions. He knows more about the roads than I do. So for all of you to think I decided to plow my road or somebody else's road, that's ridiculous. I don't know if you want to ask Chris questions, but he's here if you want to talk to him. Does anybody have questions about?
Yeah.
Kudos for doing good job.
Well, I'm not sure what the reason for them asking me to be here was, but I'm here and, we did try to plow the main areas in and out of where the different neighborhoods are, so that the main arteries of the roads in the town can be open, and we fall back and we plow the other areas. When the sleet got on the roads and got packed down, it's just 3 inches of ice, and the plows on these 1 ton and 3/4 ton trucks just won't cut it until it does start falling. We had the backhoe and the skid steers cleaning all the intersections and stuff. And when most of them got clear, it took and started trying to break ice and it up and down some of the hills and what have you. And, you know, it's, we got a spreader in the back of the dump truck, and we was putting the chips out on like Diamond Hill and on Pleasant Valley Hill and some of the other hills and out in Riverview area, they're having trouble out there. But I mean, this is how that it's been done for years here. And all the guys have worked hard, and we normally run the trucks until it crusts back over and it's not coming off at night. I mean, so we do take turns, and we do keep the trucks running as much as they're doing good. And when it refreezes at night and it's not coming off, there's no reason to keep running those trucks at night. And so if y'all get any questions or whatever, feel free to ask me. Call me anytime.
I want to commend you on your job and your crew's job. And really, there are a lot of people that may watch this, that this will give them information of what you did and how you did it. So they'll have, instead of them hearing vicariously from other sources, they know exactly what you did, why you did. That's one reason we wanted you here, to one, commend you for the job you did. And secondly, to let others hear exactly the plan that was instituted, how it went forward, and the problems with the ice and the sleet, so they understand. And the third thing is, as a council, I think we all kind of want to know what you might bring to us to help you in future in a situation. Any suggestions, anything you might have a wish list to help you do things for the ice. I don't know, calcium chloride drizzle on there prior to it ever snowing. I don't know.
One thing, Brian, is it's very uncommon to get this and for it to last this long. So
I understand.
we need to say, we don't want to go, prep for blizzards every year, but we do, if we
Right.
can make improvements, we definitely need to bring those to light now.
Some easy improvements would be get some good chains for the road graders, and I have ordered a set. They come in today. So that will get the road grader out and help break through the ice on a lot of the more main roads like East Tri Lakes and the different roads like that. We can get that done quicker. And also, like you said, given the cold temperatures, the overcast days, the consecutive days, it just wasn't typical Arkansas weather. And, that created as much problem as anything, just not having sun on it for 2 or 3 days and it just got packed in. But as far as, do we need this, do we need that, other than just maintaining what we got and, maybe, adding a salt box to one of the trucks or something, that would be handy. If we add a salt box to the truck, then we're gonna need somewhere to store the salt, and we need to order the road salt to do it, not the fine salt that the feed stores and stuff sell.
Right.
But, that would be my recommendation of maybe looking at something like that in the future, is, that way the hills and the intersections could actually be salted as well as putting the chips on them.
Very good. That's what we were wanting, is help you with anything you have, is that way. So when we had a situation, make it easier for you to clear the roads. That's what it's about.
But,
Chris, we were talking, when I was here, we got sign another snowplow that's always moving up.
right.
And we were talking about putting one on a dump truck, and we looked into it, when it $8,000 or $10,000.
Yes, I think it was right at
Something like that.
7,000 something then.
Yeah, which.
And
probably
of course, now that the water truck's upgraded to 3/4 ton, my truck, we could put one on it. And that would just give us a little more.
I just think it'd help if we got a bigger one on the
I think it
on the
would
dump truck
too.
like we were talking about for so long. Just for the main roads even, get your
Right, it would have better, it would plow better.
more weight,
Right, exactly.
and you'd have your spreader box on there to help you.
If you need.
I think you ought to look into that
But,
personally.
right, I did just glance at them, didn't really get prices, but I think they're still around the $7,500 mark for them bigger plows.
And
from what I
that
was
place, I
thinking.
don't remember what it was, it's where we got all the
It's up
parts
there in
from.
Springfield.
They delivered it to us, and I think, well, when we priced it the last time, they were gonna put it on. I think they were gonna install it, because you have to have a bumper, I believe, that goes with it.
Right, yeah,
On
you
the
gotta
dump
change out a little bit of the stuff on the
On the
dump
dump
truck
truck,
to
yeah.
make it accessible.
I
But,
mean, it wouldn't hurt to add that to it, I mean, I know
no,
you used to have a snow removal budget anyway, so.
yeah, it's just normally not got much in that line, because normally we don't need it. I
Right.
mean. for the
Normally
most
cutting
part.
edges and move
Right.
on.
Yeah, exactly. And, so, I mean, that's where we're at. The guys are still out right now. There's 2 trucks still out plowing. And if your road ain't hit, I'm sorry. It's just a matter of, we got so many roads and trying to cover what we can and, get it broke loose. And, we try to open the main parts, and then I try to go into where it's more hilly and more dangerous, so to speak, to clear them first before the flatter areas, which of course you ain't really got any flat areas, but the flatter areas kind of get it last, so to speak, just to be honest, because they're normally a little bit easier to drive on and stuff.
Sounds good.
But, are there any other questions? All right, if not, I'm
Thanks, Chris.
gonna go feed you a cat.
Okay. December council minutes. So I'll do the best I can, I got no light here, so. Meeting minutes, city council, December 18. Recorder treasurer called the meeting to order at 5:59 PM. Roll call was taken. All council members were present. Recorder treasurer and city attorney were also present. The mayor was absent. All stood for the pledge of allegiance, and Councilmember Miller performed the invocation prayer. The meeting minutes from the city council meeting November 24th, 25 were read by the recorder treasurer. Motion to accept the minutes was made by Councilmember Miller and seconded by Councilmember Draper. Minutes were approved by voice vote. Treasurer's report. A motion to accept the treasurer's report was made by Councilmember Raines and seconded by Councilmember Miller. The report was approved unanimously by roll call vote. On request of Councilmember Miller, the minutes from the November 13th nominating committee meeting were read. 2 typo corrections were noted. A motion to approve with corrections was made by Councilmember Miller and seconded by Councilmember Hilliker. Minutes were approved by voice vote. Committee reports. A motion to accept committee reports was made by Councilmember Miller and seconded by Councilmember Raines. The reports were approved on voice vote. Old business, Boy Scout use of community building. Since the Boy Scouts are currently using the building at no charge, a motion was made by Councilmember Miller, seconded by Councilmember Draper to table the issue until the next finance meeting. Motion passed by voice vote.
Budget Resolution 2025-36. The recorder treasurer stated that the proposed budget took much of what the mayor had submitted into consideration, but was amended to make it balanced. Resolution 2025-36 was read by the recorder treasurer. The motion to approve was made by Councilmember Miller and seconded by Councilmember Draper. The motion passed unanimously by a roll call vote. New business, ordinance 2025-23 was read by the recorder treasurer for the first time. This ordinance puts Arkansas Act 313 into city law. A motion was made by Councilmember Miller and seconded by Councilmember Yancey to suspend the rules and read the ordinance a second time by title. The motion passed unanimously by roll call vote. Recorder treasurer read the ordinance a second time by title only. A motion was made by Councilmember Miller and seconded by Councilmember Hilliker to suspend the rules and read the ordinance a third time by title. The motion passed unanimously by roll call vote. Recorder treasurer read the ordinance a third time by title only. A motion was made by Councilmember Hilliker and seconded by Councilmember Turner to approve the ordinance. The ordinance was approved unanimously by roll call vote. Public comments. The recorder treasurer proposed the idea that City Hall be closed on December 26th and January 22nd. It is already scheduled to be closed on the 24th and 25th of December and the 1st and 2nd of January. Motion was made by Councilmember Miller and seconded by Councilmember Turner to close City Hall for the additional 2 days. Motion passed by voice vote. There were questions from the audience regarding financial position of the city, possible future risks, employee raises, and current status of building inspections. Recorder treasurer stated that although the budget is tight, the city has ample reserves. Councilmember Dawson addressed potential sewer issues in the future. He stated that we have 2 years to come up with a solution to meet nitrate requirements. The mayor is working on this. The recorder treasurer stated that in general, the budget includes 3% raises for city employees. He also stated that we have a current solution for inspection, which involves assistance from the state. A motion to adjourn was made by Councilmember Dawson and seconded by Councilmember Miller. The motion was approved by voice vote. The meeting adjourned at 6:43 p.m.
Okay, comments, suggestion, changes to the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as they were read?
I'll make it motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say the same. Minutes are accepted. Treasurer's report.
So we went through this at Finance Committee. Our revenue and expenses look real lopsided, mainly because we had a credit card processing issue. So a lot of stuff got dumped in from general fund to Parks and Rec near the end of the year, so. But we still have money in the bank and we're not in any danger or anything, so.
Any comments, suggestions, changes, questions about the treasurer's report? Okay. Do we have a motion to accept the treasurer's report? Do I have a second? John seconds. Okay, approve this by roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Yancey,
Yes.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilliker,
Yes.
Councilmember Turner,
Yes.
Councilmember Rains,
Yes.
Councilmember Vickers,
Yes.
Councilmember Dawson,
Yes.
Councilmember Draper.
Yeah.
Okay, the council approved the treasurer's report. Committee reports. Has everybody had a chance to look through the committee reports?
CSID, report is not there, quarterly report. Wasn't submitted.
It's not there, that means it didn't submit it.
If it's not here, then it didn't get submitted. I'll look into that. Any questions, comments on the committee report? Do I have a motion to accept the committee reports as they've been set in?
Make that motion.
Second.
Okay. Give a roll call vote on this, please.
Councilmember Yancey,
Yes.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilliker,
Yes.
Councilmember Turner,
Yes.
Councilmember Raines.
Yes.
Councilmember Vickers,
Yes.
Councilmember Dawson,
Yes.
Councilmember Draper.
Yes.
Okay, committee reports are accepted. Old business. Anybody have any old business that needs to be brought forward and talked about? Okay, if we have no old business, move forward to new business. First on the agenda for new business, ordinance 2026-01, setting water connection fees.
So this is the ordinance we talked about at Finance Committee, because it costs more to do connections now than what we charge people, so we wanted to make a change to it, or people wanted to make a change to it, I guess. So ordinance 2026-01, amendments to chapter 10.12 of the municipal code regarding water connection charges. Whereas the city of Horseshoe Bend has the right and responsibility to regulate water fees, and whereas the current fee schedule for water connections does not properly cover the costs incurred by the water department, now therefore be it ordained by the city council of the city of Horseshoe Bend, Arkansas, that chapter 10.12 of the municipal code be amended by changing 10.12.04 to read 10.12.04 connection and water tap charges, connection fee for existing service, $25 plus tax, new water tap, actual cost of components plus 20%.
Okay, any discussion? Are you passing this tonight? Are we reading it for the first time?
I'd like to move, we suspend the rules and read at the same time by title only.
Okay. So we have a motion from Brian to suspend the rules. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
David seconds. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All those opposed, say the same. Rules have been suspended. Read it for the second time, please.
Ordinance 2026-01, amendment to chapter 10.12 of the municipal code regarding water connection charges.
Okay, I'm sure there's no comments and suggestions. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules for the third time, second time? Jeanette makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Brian? Brian seconded it.
Would you please do a roll call vote?
Okay.
Please.
For the suspension?
Yes. Has to be a 2/3 majority, and I just think it'd be better for the minutes.
All right.
Should we go back and vote for the first one?
I don't think so.
Do a roll call vote. Well, everybody said yes and there was nobody against it, so.
Okay. Councilmember Yancey,
Yes.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilliker,
Yes.
Councilmember Turner,
Yes.
Councilmember Raines,
Yes.
Councilmember Vickers,
Yes.
Councilmember Dawson,
Yes.
Councilmember Draper.
Yes.
Okay, so then we'll read it for the third time.
Correct.
By title only.
Ordinance 2026-01, amendment to chapter 10.12 of the municipal code regarding water connection charges.
Okay. Last time to change it. Any changes, comments, suggestions? If there's none, do I have a motion to vote on ordinance 2026-01 in its final form?
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Brian seconds it. Okay, roll call vote, please.
This one. Councilmember Yancey,
Yes.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilliker,
Yes.
Councilmember Turner,
Yes.
Councilmember Raines,
Yes.
Councilmember Vickers,
Yes.
Councilmember Dawson,
Yes.
Councilmember Draper.
Okay, ordinance 2026-01 passes. Okay, resolution 2026-01, amenity fees for 2026.
Mr. Sykes reminded me that our ordinance 2025-02 requires us to approve the fee, whatever it's gonna be once, after December, basically, so that's what this is for. Resolution number 2026-01, a resolution setting 2026 fee for ordinance 2025-02. Whereas ordinance 2025-02 was duly passed in 2025, and whereas ordinance 2025-02 requires an annual review to set the associated parks and recreation fee, and whereas the 2026 budget approved by city council in December of 2025 includes fee revenues equal to actual receipts for 2025, and whereas the fee for 2025 was $80, be it resolved by the city council of the city of Horseshoe Bend, Arkansas, that the parks and recreation fee amount associated with ordinance 2025-02 remain at $80 for 2026.
Okay. Questions, comments, statements?
I'll make that motion, we approve it.
All right, no,
Brian seconded it.
Is it open to public comment?
Yeah.
Wait.
well, does the public have any comments?
Well, has there been any review done to see if the need for an $80 fee from each parcel is there a need for $80? Has there been a checks and balances? I mean, are we exceeding that as expenses? Have we met those expenses? Are we saving money? What's been done to look at the finances to see if the $80?
We look at the finances every month, every day, in fact, I look at it. And what we set out as the budget that we put out last year, we set out with the idea that we would collect $560,000. And that was really a kind of a wild ass pull it out of the air kind of guess, because nobody had any history with this. But we got pretty close. I think we're at 545 in counting right now. So, and that seems to fit into the budget pretty well. And part of the budget is put aside 225 or 250. 225,000 for reserves, and there is money to do that. So I think overall, the budget, we did pretty good.
For the reserves, meaning for the swimming pool?
Well, it was the pool, it was the lakes, it was the dams, and it was, I think, just amenities in general. So there was a certain amount for each one. I don't remember, I don't have it memorized which one's which. The pool was the biggest one, yes.
So does everyone on council believe there's a justification for $80, or is there anyone that thinks that it could be less than that?
In time, it could be less than that. Right now, we have, general funds going to Parks and Rec that we want to get back before we lower the $80. So we have the $80 fee plus that going into it currently. So we want to make sure we can maintain the amenities the way they're supposed to be before we reduce it. It could be reduced, one, if everyone would pay the fee, and two, if we, just have more than 1 year to see where we're gonna land once everything is
And what amenities is that supposed to cover?
all,
Can you name them?
lakes, golf course, parks.
That's the
parks,
two, lakes and golf.
Tennis
Parks.
courts.
Everything we have, for a minute.
I believe what he's speaking of, Bill, how much is that, that there was, item passed by the last council, as a stopgap measure to fund Parks and Rec, that committed part of the sales tax, part of the millage, and part of the franchise tax toward Parks and Rec. That totals how much?
It's between $11,000 and $12,000 a month, so about 142, 143,000.
140 some odd thousand, okay? And I think many on the council, like Sean just voiced, I will voice the same thing, my opinion. We have 13,822 pieces of property, okay? That all should be paying the $80. Now, obviously, they're not all paying, or we'd have a lot more money. However, the citizens that live here in Horseshoe Bend, they pay the sales tax. A lot of these property owners are in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Minnesota, England, wherever they are. They're not paying the sales tax. And to me, it's an unfair taxation on them. I know it's a stopgap measure, but I think, again, I know Sean's in agreement. I don't know who else, because we don't have secret meetings, but I think most of the council agrees that as soon as possible, we would like to revert that back to the city's general fund instead of being dedicated to Parks and Rec and repeal that ordinance that made that happen.
Well, you could do that if you didn't say for the pool.
Again, there are other things besides the pool. That's 140 of the 225, you said, unreserved.
150.
So you take out that 140 some odd thousand, and now you're a lot lower to provide for the lakes and the other amenities and, like you said, the pool.
But in the same sense, the people paying the sales tax are the ones utilizing the amenities. The people that don't live here don't use the amenities, so.
It makes their property
To
more
me, I
valuable.
think.
I understand what you're saying. I just think it's unfair representation in that amount of money going out of the city general fund for that. If we can do it with the amount collected by the actual property owners that are outside the city. Again, that's two of our opinions, maybe more, but I'm just trying to express what Sean was saying, that we would like to get to a point where we can revert that back to the city in total. And that would even be worse. Again, it's my opinion. Because if we're gonna collect that again this year, because it hadn't been repealed. But
So
then,
how much time are we talking about? Obviously, someone's done some type of studying on how long this is gonna take for this stopgap measure to end. So how many years are we talking about money from the general fund leaving to support Parks and Rec? How many years do we need before, collecting $80, do we need before that is lowered?
We talked about repealing the ordinance at the end of this year, so we're not taking any money from the city. And, we're trying to create a little bit of money for the department, since it's a new department to the city. But, going forward, the amenity fee will have to be discussed with council.
what also has to be discussed and presented to the city is the pool. We hear half the town is saying don't want the pool, half the town is saying they want the pool. What needs to be done is a full evaluation of what it would take to get that pool back where it can be reopened. First step is we're gonna bring in, just.
The health department has. to
Health
come
department.
first.
Health department needs to do a full evaluation, a written report, what they would need done before they would accept it. What would have to be done. And then once we have that, we have to submit that out to, again, an engineering firm. Once the engineering firm looks at these requirements, looks at what we have, then they have to set out a recommendation, which then we could put out for bids to meet those. I mean, it's a step process.
Yeah, I'm very aware of
And-
that.
and
I'm just worried, I'm kind of concerned about, you said half the city's for the pool, half the city is not for the pool. What survey was issued to the town folk and the owners that indicates that that is correct? I'm not aware of any survey that was given to the entire city that would tell us half is for and half is against.
Okay, my estimate maybe was off of what I hear back from people. It was at the ward meeting when it was brought up again, the pool was brought up again. They discussed at the ward meeting when we were all there.
So you're estimating on 50 residents being in a ward meeting, and that's where you're getting your information, half and half.
No, I'm using
That's
as
not
an
very good
example
sample.
of people speaking out for the pool. I'm not saying that that is the only thing it's based on. But
But that's
We
what I'm asking.
certainly could do what you say and spend some more money,
What
more money
survey
in Parks
are
and
you
Rec. We'll
referring
do a
to?
survey like you asked. If you think that's the best way to attack it, I'm not against doing a survey and putting it out for people.
Well, I think that would be probably a logical next step because you have
Would,
your constituents, obviously, and I don't know how often you speak to them, but if you're saying you think half are for and half are against, you know, then that's not logical to keep moving forward with saving money for something that you don't know if truly people want. So then we have the idea that, okay, that money could be going back into the general fund and the fee could be lowered, which would make quite a few people in the city happy. So it seems to me like a logical first step would be to actually survey the city and find out what citizens truly want in the city moving forward, come up with a 1-year, 5-year, 10-year, 15-year plan and move forward in that way versus just saying, I think that people want this.
I understand your point. It's very valid, but also, do you want to take that survey before you give them the information? You want someone to make a judgment on whether they want to pool or not without any idea what we're looking at it costs? I think the cost is very important for them to be presented. Okay, here's what the health department says. Here's what the engineer says. He's required to meet those requirements. And then here are the bids we got back. Now, then you do your survey, because now they have what's in front of them. The last thing that we were told is bulldoze it, it's 2.4 for a new pool, 2.4 million. Prior to that, same engineering firm said they could put this back in condition to run for 500,000. That is a vast difference, 500,000 to 2.4 million. Something's wrong, okay? Which one? Do I know? No, I do not. It's the same engineering firm. Matter of fact, it was the same exact engineer, the same man made both presentations. So therefore, I choose to suggest that the city does not go back to ETC again. Because how can you trust an engineering firm that 1 year gives you 500,000 to put the pool back into condition, and then gives you no bulldoze it 2.4 million a year later? In a year, it didn't change that much.
What if 2/3 of your or of the citizens don't even want a pool and you've wasted, $50,000 talking to an engineering firm how to proceed? It
It's
just
actually
makes a
not a
little bit more
citizen
sense
issue, it's a
to come up
property
with a
owner
wish
issue.
list.
It's a property owner issue. It's not a citizen's issue. We put fees from all the property owners. And they may live here, they may not live here. It's
So you
not a
can
citizen
survey
issue.
13,000 properties?
Well, that's the
That's what we
question.
have
She
to do.
does. I don't know that it's
That's who we have,
practical, but she does.
not just the citizens.
Why isn't it practical?
Well, if you want to find out where 13,000 people live and find out if they're going to give you, their John Henry on that, that's fine. It's just a lot of work.
I'm not quite sure. I'd have to find out because you have the list of every single
Yeah,
owner.
we do, but it's an awful lot of work is all I'm saying.
I got a suggestion, since you're sending out the $80 bill soon, send the survey with it,
There's a good idea. That's a
because that goes to all the property owners.
What would be your top 5 priority amenities for the city?
Yeah, I have another suggestion. Why don't we ask the people of the city how many of them want the golf course?
Well, that's a whole different issue. So, yeah, that issue's gonna come up, trust me. But without going on too much further, Tommy, you've
Yes, sir.
been patient.
Well,
What did you have to say?
I got approached the other day by a citizen that says, what happens to the individual that don't pay the $80?
All right, well.
I couldn't give him an answer, so. that's-
Everybody's got their letter. Some people have decided to pay, some people have decided not to pay. I know there's people that are waiting to be fined, whatever's gonna happen to them. I know there's people that have hired attorneys. So what's gonna happen is gonna be a showdown. But before we vote on it, I do have a couple of things to say. First, the prices I had for fixing that pool was not close to $500,000 at all. And we had a pool company that was gonna do that. So these big inflated figures, no, we didn't have to do that at all. Second, your question is really well asked, Beth. Do we need $80? No, we didn't need $80. We needed $40 from the property owners. And had we had the right people managing the golf course and Parks and Rec, we would have been able to reduce it to $25 this year. That was the plan. And we didn't have figures out of the sky because Charlie ran that golf course and Parks and Rec for a year. So we had real concrete, be quiet.
Oh, it looks so
We
good.
had real concrete figures which to build off of. Nobody used those figures. They just pulled figures out of the sky.
Well,
You're
I actually,
absolutely
Mayor,
wrong. I
excuse
used
me
his
for interrupting.
numbers.
I FOIA'd those figures. I requested them multiple times, even from Bill, to have those figures, the bank statements, everything. I have not received an answer back on my FOIA, because I wanted to analyze the numbers and see what it really took to, that was my job. I was a data analyst. I can look through numbers. I have not.
There's
had
a,
that FOIA
there's a
answer.
ton of FOIAs that are not being answered. I've asked how many people actually are registered members of the golf course.
That's
I've
not a
still
FOIA.
not got
That's
that.
not a FOIA. That's a number. You can't FOIA numbers, only documents.
my.
That's what FOIA is for, documents.
I FOIA documents.
You
and I
know
don't
that.
know. You responded to my FOIA.
Okay. Then why are you saying they didn't get it?
Yeah.
You said you don't have the documents, and I said, please forward this on to the person that does have the documents, and I still haven't received an answer.
All the documents were left in the computer. We downloaded them in hard drives to make sure if they disappeared or they got changed. So those documents are right up at Parks and Rec on that computer. Just like all the golf numbers, those were on that computer.
So how can I get those documents, since I have it? I fully
That's this
requested.
man right here. He's in charge of the FOIAs.
In charge of
And this
everything.
man's in charge of making sure he does them. So there you have your people right there. So without going
Let
on,
me answer
Is
your
this-
thing, though. I used Charlie's numbers, Mr. Mayor. I used Charlie's numbers. The only thing I added was the reserves. It's the only thing I added, because people said they wanted to pool, and pools don't just magically happen. So just so you know, I used Charlie's numbers.
I have a number of things that I wanted to really respond to your question real quick. 40 is the number of members that we currently have. I went through, and that's there, it's overstated to 93 because we're adding cart trails and other things in it, but all I could get to was 40 members, and that's going through, I mean, and
so there's 40 members at the golf course right now. The people need to know that.
Yeah. And I have a question for Brad. As far as the fee goes, I know that everybody says that the document is great, and I believe the ordinance is great. But the implementation of the ordinance has me concerned. And I am hearing all this, we're gonna sue the city, we're gonna sue the city. And I think there's something behind that. And I don't want to get in a situation where the city is gonna now owe all this money and we're spending it on other things that, we need to. And I would like to, and I think a lot of people would maybe like to, pay their $80, but if we're just gonna be sued and have to, the city's gonna pay it back. I mean, is the city creating a liability, or have you looked at the way it's being implemented, and
Is this a legal fee?
Is it legal? Is the fee legal?
Yes,
What do we get for it? I mean,
I mean, that's how I feel about it.
yeah.
Well, it's not about feelings though.
Yeah, I mean,
A fee
because
has to
it
give
just-
you something.
It just, I mean, it doesn't
You
seem
get
that.
something for a fee.
Don't
I read the
do that.
laws.
No.
You get something for a fee.
No, I'm not
Okay, she
answering
said
any more
20
questions.
acres.
There's a motion
Yeah,
on the
it's-
floor, right?
Yeah, it's not about, we're going off to the side here. Brad's answered the
I mean,
question.
y'all can
He
look
believes-
bug-eyed at me and shake your heads all you want, but I'm advising the council, it's a legal fee.
I just have a comment.
I believe it's a-
As far as the pool,
I believe it, I feel it, I sense it. Okay?
You smell it?
Come on, y'all.
All right, so we're gonna move on. It's time to do a vote on it. People had a chance to make comments. A lot of your comments were really good. I appreciate yours, Beth. A lot of good comments were there. I have the same kind of questions but at this point, we need to move on and vote on the fee. So we're voting on resolution 2026-01, a resolution for setting 2026 fee and ordinance based on 2025 full truth. All right, so we've had the discussion. Any further changes the board itself wants to make, or things the board specifically wants to change in the ordinance? All right. Probably should do a roll call vote on it, just to make sure.
Councilmember Yancey.
Yes.
Councilmember Miller.
Yes.
Councilmember Hilliker.
yes.
Councilmember Turner.
Yes.
Councilmember Raines.
Yes.
Councilmember Vickers.
Yes.
Councilmember Dawson.
Yes.
Councilmember Drake.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, the resolution passes.
Can I ask another question? When you have these discussions about the pool and the guy comes in to give your information, are you gonna include the mayor?
We're not anywhere near that yet, so I assume. But we would bring the help, I'm just telling you the steps. I don't know who's gonna do them. But the steps are identified by, I think I got it from Ray a long time ago. These are
Yes.
by law what has to be done. The health
But the
department
mayor
has to
has
say
been
it's
involved.
say it's
in
okay in the
that.
first place. Second is, you have to hire an engineering firm that basically develops the specification. And then you decide at any time whether you want to pursue it or not, but that will cost money. So obviously the mayor will be involved with that because we'll have to allocate money for it.
I would hope so, because he's
So-
been very involved in it in the past couple
Right,
of years.
again, and I understand the idea to be able to say, hey, like you're putting a pool in your backyard, but it's different when it's a city. I'm sorry, it just is. So,
Okay, moving along to the next resolution is 2026-02 meeting schedule. And I believe everybody's got that schedule in front of them, should be in your packet.
Yes.
Anybody have suggestions or changes to that or any problems that they see with it? No? Okay, do we have a motion to pass the,
I should probably read it, right?
Yeah.
Resolution number 2026-02, setting council meeting schedule for 2026. Whereas the city council of the city of Horseshoe Bend, Arkansas has the power and duty to set their meeting schedule for the year. Be it or should be resolved, not ordained, sorry. Resolved. For the city council of the city of Horseshoe Bend, Arkansas, that the following schedule be put in place, subject to change by consent of council. And basically, it's finance meeting, well, obviously, we already changed that one, but sticking to the schedule that we've had this year, except for Labor Day dictates we go 1 week later, and Christmas suggesting we go 1 week early, so.
okay. Comments, suggestion, problems? Do I have a motion to accept the resolution 2026-02?
Do we need to modify January and reflect what happened, or?
I don't think at this point we do.
I don't think it matters, Brian, it's over,
I know.
just in case you
I
didn't.
mean, I'll
know.
cross off, I gotta do the one thing anyway, I'll cross it off.
That's fine.
Go ahead and leave, really.
Really?
I think you should leave.
All right,
Yeah, because that's when we were supposed to have it.
Sure.
If we didn't have an ice storm,
I
we
think I'll
would.
have to set a
I'll do
regular,
whatever you want, I don't care.
you didn't even bring this up.
All right.
Okay. Do we have a motion and a second on this? Can we vote on it?
Jeanette,
Jeanette makes the motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Donnie,
Okay. I don't think we need a roll call vote on this. We need a voice vote. All those in favor of the new schedule, please signify by saying aye. Anybody opposed, please say the same. Unanimously approved. Okay, meeting schedule. Resolution budget 2026-03.
yes, basically this is the same thing every year, we're required, we have a budget that we had for 2025, but at the end of the year, there's what really happened, and you have to approve that and say it's called the amended budget, so that's all this is saying this is what really happened. Nothing that we can really change about it, it's what happened. But we still have to pass it. Anyway, resolution 2026-03, a resolution to pass and approve the revised budget as presented to cover the budget period starting January 1, 2025 through December 31st, 2025. Whereas the Finance Committee has delegated to the mayor, report treasurer, and the chairman of the Finance Committee the responsibility to revise the city budget, and whereas copies of the revision as proposed have been distributed to the council, and it is necessary to get the revision entered into the computer so that the 2026 budget can proceed. Now therefore be it ordained and resolved. Sorry. Messed up by the city council of the city of Horseshoe Bend, Arkansas, that the revised budget be approved and put into effect for the year 2025. I think I duplicated something as well, sorry. That's it.
And these are the numbers behind the resolution. These are the
Correct.
final numbers.
Yes.
Okay, comments, suggestions? Do I have a motion to accept resolution 2026-03 and the budget that's been adjusted for, I guess? Jeanette makes the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Donnie makes the second. Do a roll call vote on this, please.
Councilmember Yancey,
Yes.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilliker,
Yes.
Councilmember Turner,
Yes.
Councilmember Raines,
Yes.
Councilmember Vickers,
Yes.
Councilmember Dawson,
Yes.
Councilmember Draper.
Yes.
Okay, budget amendment resolution is passed. Last resolution.
Right, so this is, we looked into getting the legislative audit to do our audit, legislative committee to do our audit last year, and apparently there's a procedure required, the first of which is to have a resolution that says we want to do that. So this is the first step in trying to get the legislative audit to do our audit this year for everything but water. Water has to, they won't do water. So. Resolution number 2026-04, a resolution requesting a legislative audit for 2025. Whereas the city council has authority to request a legislative audit from the state of Arkansas, and whereas numerous additions and changes to the budget and procurement were implemented during the 2025 fiscal year because of the assumption of MRID properties, obligations, and maintenance, and whereas the city council wishes to have a baseline evaluation of how these transactions are being processed, and whereas it is in the best interest of the city to ensure proper processes are being adhered to, therefore be it resolved by the city council of the city of Horseshoe Bend, Arkansas, that the city requests a legislative audit for fiscal year 2025.
Okay, pretty straightforward.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Donnie makes the motion.
Second.
Who seconded it, Brian?
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor of the resolution 2026-04 legislative audit, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say the same. Unanimous acceptance, regulars 2026-04 legislative audit. Okay. Public comments. Uriah, you have the floor, sir. Yeah.
Okay. You need to stop. You not get.
Council, Mayor, thank you guys for letting me speak. I'm Uriah Mead, President of Horseshoe Bend Boating and Fishing Club. I'm coming to you guys again this year. As many of you know, we host a fishing tournament every year that we basically are, every dollar we make there, we're putting right back into the lakes at Horseshoe Bend. So last year, with our tournament, we raised a little over $3,500. So we're planning ahead for this year for our lake stocking project. First, I want to start off our kids fishing derby. As many of you know, if you guys have been a part of it or seen it, we've outgrown our location at Blackstone Marina. So our intentions are to try to clean up North Lake, and we're going to have our kids fishing derby at North Lake this year. So that is part of this proposal. So I'll just go ahead and read over this real quick for you guys, and then a couple of questions for you guys, and then we'll move on. So Organization overview, we're the Horseshoe Bend Boating, Fishing and Sportsman's Club. We're a volunteer-based organization dedicated to promoting responsible outdoor recreation, conservation, and youth involvement in fishing and boating activities within the city of Horseshoe Bend. The purpose of this proposal is to request the city council's approval to proceed with multiple fish stocking efforts with city lakes and to request city participation in funding bait fish stocking at Crown Lake. These efforts are intended to support community recreation, youth programs, and long-term health of local fisheries. So project overview, this is what I was talking about with North Lake. We're going to host our kids fishing derby there. The club plans to stock North Lake in preparation for our annual kids fishing derby. This event provides local youth and families with a safe, educational, enjoyable outdoor activity while encouraging lifelong appreciation for fishing and conservation. Stocking will occur prior to the event to ensure a positive experience for participating children. Fish species will be appropriate for youth fishing and existing lake conditions. This event is open to the community and focused on family participation. Diamond Lake bait fish stocking. The club plans to stock bait fish in Diamond Lake to improve the forage base and overall fish population balance. Bait fish stock supports healthier predator fish growth, enhances angling success and sustainability, helps maintain long-term and ecologic balance. Crown Lake, request by city participation. We're asking the city respectfully that the city participate providing funds to stock bait fish into Crown Lake. Bait fish stocking will improve the overall fishing quality and fish health, benefit residents, visitors, and local events held at Crown Lake, aligns with the city's investment in recreational resources and public spaces. The club is willing to coordinate logistics, timing, and oversight in the cooperation with the city to ensure the proper stocking methods and accountability. Environmental and regulatory considerations. All fish will be sourced from approved hatcheries and certified disease-free. Stocking will follow the recommended practices and comply with the state and local regulations. Care will be taken to minimize disruption to the existing wildlife and lake conditions. And then, of course, there's some community benefits with that. It improves the fishing opportunities across multiple lakes, direct support for youth and family-oriented events, increase use and appreciation of the city's recreational assets, strengthen partnership between the city and local volunteer organizations. The timeline for this, with the city's approval, we would like to get the approval before we have to go to the Arkansas Game and Fish after the approval of you guys, so that way we can get on the schedule. The fish stocking for the kids fishing derby will happen 2 days prior to the derby. We have a tentative date set right now. I'm working with the fish hatchery that we're going to use. We'll coordinate all that. As far as the bait fish stocking, that'll happen anywhere in the late April to early May time. That's when they recommend. So the request for this, our club is respectfully requesting the city's council approval to proceed with proposed fish stocking activities and ask the city to consider funding bait fish stocking at Crown Lake. We appreciate the city's continued support of our outdoor recreation and community programs and look forward to working with you to enhance our local fisheries. So just to touch on a little bit of this, as of last year, with the funds that we had last year, Parks and Recs, I think, matched ours. We were able to do Pioneer Lake fully stocked, and Crown Lake, we did a fairly large amount there. I believe, I might be wrong in these numbers, but I think we did 175,000 bait fish in Crown Lake to about 75,000 in Pioneer Lake, if I'm not mistaken. I could be off on those numbers, but because our club designated most of our money to splitting in those locations, this year we're going to do as much as we can to Diamond Lake. And then, of course, this year for our kids fishing derby, we're not partnering with Arkansas Game and Fish this year, so we're actually supplying our own fish. And so that money will come directly out of this too. Just ballpark figures for our kids fishing derby, it's going to cost us roughly $2,000 to have the lake stocked. So that's where a portion of our money will go, and then the other $1,500 that we have is going to go directly towards Diamond Lake. So anything that the city is willing to help with will go directly to Crown Lake. I know that is our main lake that has a lot of attention drawn to it. So we'll at least have all the lakes covered within this 2-year span, starting over again next year. Hopefully, the tournament continues to grow, we can create more revenue, and then we can do all the lakes equally. So as far as that's basically where we're at right now. Like I said, with North Lake, I've been in contact with both Arkansas Game and Fish and Arkansas Pond Stockers. I kind of tentatively told them what our plan is, and again, I'm just trying to kind of get ahead of the game. So I'm coming here for the approval of the city, and now we'll go go next to the Arkansas Game and Fish. So,
Why are you going with Game and Fish on your kids fishing derby?
nothing against the Arkansas Game and Fish, but, one, we missed the deadline, with my father passing, I got paperwork turned in. But also on top of that, with Arkansas Game and Fish, we're not allowed to ask for donations. We're not allowed to sell anything. We're not allowed to do raffles, anything that generates money to our club, we're not allowed to do. So with that, we opted to fund our own fish, so we can do 50-50 raffles. We can sell hot dog. We're not going to, but we can sell food. We always donate food, but anything like that we were restrained to, we kind of have free reins to do now, so.
What kind of fish would you be stocking?
It'll be catfish, feeder catfish.
I was wondering if something had changed because they used to do it at North Lake, that's where it started.
Yeah, that's where it started. Now the only thing, I'm kind of getting a little off track here, but, per request of the, Arkansas Pond Stalkers, he requested that we have a lake shocking done at North Lake. Just to kind of give his best recommendation on what size fish, what we should or shouldn't put in there. When I spoke with Mr. Chilton from the Arkansas Game and Fish, I don't know if anyone knows, but Crown Lake is actually set for mid-May to have their lake shocking done. I can't request it, but he said if the city requested, they would try to put North Lake on their schedule for the same day as Crown Lake. Now, our stocking will be done before this anyways, but for future events, we'll know what is and isn't in that water, so.
I haven't talked with them, but one of the things that we talked about is grass carp program. Because that program's been let go, and that's why our lakes are getting filled with basically grass. And probably 25% of these weeds and shit could be killed if we reinstituted that program.
And I don't think it's a lack of, we have several grass carp, but they've gotten to that size now where they're just useless.
Well, right, I mean, once they're 2 to 3 feet, then you can just kill them and throw them out, and that's why they let them do that at night with the bow hunting, because I know they cleaned out Pioneer Lake, I want to say 2-3 years ago. Fishing game, put them in there, and they took 3-footers out of there. Well, now the whole bottom's covered with grass.
Yeah, so as far as North Lake, again, that's why we're kind of, with the lake shocking, we'll be able to tell what is and isn't in there. If anyone knows North Lake, we have a lot of work on our hands to get rid of some lily pads. We tackled it last year, but we've got some ideas to take care of it this year, but with the amount of lily pads there, I mean, it's been a great lake. I hear a lot of people, when we were there cleaning, there's a ton of people that stop and say they love that little lake. You know, it's kind of off the beaten path, not a lot of people know about it, but it's plenty of room. A good thing about North Lake too is we're not confined to an area where with box hound, we would run a net across the cove and they were basically strictly catching catfish. If North Lake has, it's a species of fish, we can do large trash fish, we can do smallest trash fish, we can add and incorporate different things to our kids' derby. So that's kind of what we're hoping with that as well. So.
Right.
You know, I like what you're doing, you're right. The only thing I don't see on here, what about Pioneer, just let that go this year?
So yeah,
You gonna-
since we fully stocked it last year, yeah, we don't have the funding unless the city wants to put a portion of funds to that. Pioneer, since we were able to meet the requirement, and I should say the requirements, but based on what Arkansas Pond Stalkers recommended, we were able to meet that last year. But because we were so undersized with Crown Lake and we didn't even touch Diamond, we want to try to make sure we're, get Crown up a little bit and then hit Diamond the best we can with it. I haven't spoke with them directly about this, but last year Arkansas Pond Stalkers also donated fish to us. He had kind of touched on that they would either help us on the fishing derby side or the stocking side. So I'm kind of hoping that they'll come through on that as well. So.
Both.
Yep. So outside of that, that's pretty much it unless there's any other questions. I just here respectfully ask for approval and I get something in writing that I can turn over to Arkansas Game and Fish. So.
Any other comments or suggestions?
They don't need to go to finance?
Doesn't have to, but it would be good.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, what do you guys know?
We would get it on the agenda for finance to approve the fish stocking and the maybe match, whatever.
Yeah.
Like we did last year.
I'll come back to finance. If you guys got any other questions on it, so thanks.
That's good.
Hey, anything else?
Yeah, I got one thing that brought to my attention.
community building. How are we charging people to use that? You're here, Dan. I mean, that brought to my attention that clubs that use it, they're getting charged $900 to have to use it.
It's $100 a meeting.
$100 a meeting, which is an organization that's doing everything they can to help stock our lakes and all that. Boating and fishing, but
You know,
And-
I've asked help for, you know, I presented something to council, went to finance, went back to council, went back to finance. I've been looking for help with council. I don't just create the fees, council does, and then I, you know, impose them, so.
well, that's never been brought to my attention as far as council on charging fees for $100 up there.
We had a fee ordinance that went through council, what, last month, month before? Yeah, well, I mean,
I have a proposal that you guys let the community, the people that do this
People,
for
the
free.
people in the community.
Yeah, for free, and then anybody else that rents it, they could rent it, you know, that does like a wedding, they could pay a fee, but for the.
Weddings and stuff like that.
So just for the record, we don't want it for free.
Even it, yeah.
I believe Brian proposed a $20 or $30 a
Yeah.
month. We were very prepared to pay that, but and Dan, I know you're just sending what you're supposed to, but I mean, when I got a bill for $900, I mean, if I pay that, then we can't
Yeah.
afford half our fish for Kids Fishing Derby.
Right.
So
How-
for the time being, we have an alternative meeting place that we're not being charged for until things get figured out, but
How we ran it when Charlie was running it, if people were charging money and making money off the building, then they had to pay for the building.
But there,
I mean, literally.
there's many
But-
groups that's not.
Right, and the
Making it
people
better.
that were not making money, the line dancers, the little theater, your group, they got to use that building for free. First, you're a taxpayer. You've already paid for that building. That building sits there and we heat it. And the electricity's on anyway, so we can either use it or we can let it go to waste.
well, I think even with Charlie, I mean, we paid to use the building. I mean, I'm not trying to get it for free by any means, so, and I'm not here to argue that if we have to.
But
do
as a
somewhere else, we'll do
club-
somewhere else.
But as a club that does the kind of work that you're doing, you don't need to pay for it. Okay, those are all taxpayers that's a part of that, and you're doing to the community. Now, if you want to put on a dinner to raise money for the boating and fishing, then you'd have to rent the building to do that because you're gonna make money. That makes sense to me. If someone's using it to make money, or they're using it for a wedding reception, some private thing, you should pay for it. But if you're just using it to practice line dancing or to put on a play that's gonna benefit the community, why are we charging people to use their own building?
Or just to have even meetings. I mean, I don't see a point in it.
I mean, you're paying the heat and the electricity anyways. Still on.
It belongs to people's horseshoes. They gotta be able to use it for meetings. And like you said, if you're gonna kick a dinner, yeah, then you gotta charge.
And in fact, and I know somebody did something ridiculous too, Chris, they put all this kind of crap on the internet, but when the craft fairs were done up there, like Carol and my wife, they donated all that money to the community center. They didn't take a dime. All those booths that paid for that went strictly to the community center. So I think, how much money did you give them?
The checks were made out from the vendors, the checks were made out to MRID.
Yeah, to the community center itself.
And yet the liars on the internet said that, you know, we got it to use for free and we made the money. No, we did the work and all the money went to MRID.
Yeah, the money went, again, if you're gonna make money off
And
the
we still
building.
have, we still have the craft show applications that say, make your checks payable to MRID.
Yeah,
Was it right?
Tim, did we pay for the POA? We had to pay that. We weren't making money. Did the PAC have to pay? Yes, PAC had to pay.
Yeah.
So I don't.
That
think
was
we're
the way,
accurate
that was the way it
description.
was back then.
So
Did the city council?
everybody paid except for people that.
But I just want to bring it to the
Right,
attention.
am I
It
right?
needs to be addressed, needs to be taken care of because that's ridiculous.
We have our meeting in April, we won't have to pay.
We shouldn't.
I
It's a
say,
meeting.
I make a motion to table this to the 12th finance. And let's really discuss going for that decision because the question was brought to me and I tried to get an answer and I was told that all we have right now is what I relayed back to you. You're right. And I didn't like it either. But that's what we had. Okay. Do something different. We have to take action. Do action. We need to discuss and figure out exactly what we're gonna do for people that aren't making money, like a wedding reception, that still wants to use it. There should be a deposit down, because
But that's a private use, that's not a community use. Okay, the Little Theater Group is a community group.
not talking about
The
this
line
now, I'm
dancers.
asking to table it. I was giving an example, if someone had a wedding reception, so that's not to make money, but at the same time, they should probably have to have a deposit and a fee for having a wedding reception.
Can I ask, instead of tabling it, you guys discuss it now, because it's been tabled how many times? And I'd hate to see another club leave, I mean,
That's
we're
the
already
reason why I brought it
contemplating
back.
leaving, and I don't want to, we're shooting, so.
I don't think there's a consensus of it. 'Cause I don't think it's been done fair. I think some organizations got charged. If they didn't happen to be Charlie's friends, they got charged.
Don't say that.
I have
That's
proof of it.
that is an
Stop.
insult.
It is an
And
insult.
Charlie is not
It's
here to
not
say
true.
that.
Hey, come on, now, this is the reason why I didn't wanna bring it up. I mean, come on, if you can't get along up here,
But he
there's
did.
something wrong.
But he did. I have the actual papers from the State Department of Public Integrity that's got all the proof right there. Now, the prosecuting attorney decided not to do anything, but he did send Charlie a letter and said, stop doing it. So, and you want to see it, I'll give it to you, FOIA, I'll give it to you.
Yes.
That's it.
For you.
Okay, we're gonna hold a meeting for all golfers at the loft this Thursday at 6 o'clock to discuss what they want going forward with the golf course.
Thanks.
Good.
I believe I made a motion.
I have a question about some of the financials, and one of the biggest concerns that I had was the golf course, the pro shop fees, or the pro shop inventory. I know that there was I went back and watched the meetings, from April, and, it is, they wanted to move from 4,000 to 15,000. $15,000 is a lot of money for inventory. In order to get the $15,000, they were supposed to bring something in and have it approved, and I didn't see any meeting where anything was ever approved. And I went up to the pro shop in September, and I didn't see 15,000, but in my opinion, I thought it was $15,000, but I did see where subsequent later, $15,000, was paid, to a landscaping company for merchandise that I was also for, and I also for the, inventory records, and there are no records. And then, so I'm just kind of curious as to how it is that there's $15,000 of inventory there, and I don't see any assets on the books that show that there are any assets. I can't calculate any cost of goods sold. It seems like if you want me to give $80, that it should be, there should be something there that, and this is not like I'm new here and I don't know how to do something. This is basic accounting, cost of goods sold. I mean, you have an inventory, you sell something, you deduct it, you know how much you're making. There's no profit margin, I got nothing. And there were 10, I spoke to Bill in September, and he said, there's probably one golf bag, and, because I would propose to Dan that they only do like small ticket items, that way they could, that's kind of our demographic, what people are willing to buy, not this big stuff. No one's gonna come, I don't think, to our golf course and buy, golf clubs and golf bags, but, Bill's like, oh, we got one golf bag in there. Well, I go in there and there were like 10. So, and not only 10, but there were 10 sitting in the window where you get sun damage. So that was a concern too. It just kind of felt like, and then, I think it was, they had, and not that, I don't think that he knew, but Spooner was the one that was buying the merchandise. And so it was kind of another situation that we were in before. And I know Dan had proposed that to me and had told me that that's what they were considering doing. And I told them that was not a good idea, that they shouldn't do that because that's what kind of got us in trouble before. So I expected to see, because, I proposed something, that they would do with, small items, and I thought that's what I would see in the financials, like, here's the golf balls, here are the t-shirts, here are the, there were t-shirts and like 10 bags and some.
I donated the t-shirts.
Okay, well, they did have the kind of too high-end.
Yeah,
Who is this local maintenance
I
company
don't-
that sold?
It's Spooner himself,
kids.
so it's not even maintenance.
Dan told us he had 3 different vendors he was looking at.
He may have
during
looked
that
at them,
meeting,
but
right.
they're all, well, the grocery store.
But he ended up getting all the merchandise from a man here in Horseshoe Bend
That was running the pro shop.
for $15,000, exactly.
There was, oh, and no, it was actually 20,000 if you count the 5,000 that went to.
Maybe Dan can explain how
Yeah,
this
that went
worked,
to
because I
5,000. If
didn't
you
get
count
it
the
either.
5,000 went to,
I'm with you, Amberly,
yeah.
I didn't understand
First
any
of
of
all, the
this.
goal for inventory is not to have inventory, it's to sell it.
Yeah,
And you have to replace it when you sell it.
right.
Okay, and that's what we've done. And there's a lot of small items. We
Can
sell
Dan
a
explain
ton
it?
of the gloves.
Since he
We sell a
handles all
ton of
this?
the balls. And the reason why we went with Spooner is because Spooner had memberships with Callaway and with what's.
You don't need that for the.
Well, you do in order to buy it without
only
having to
go
buy it in
between.
bulk. And that was what the thing was. You gotta buy a minimum purchase of $8,000.
I know
You
that's why
don't,
we
but you
Please,
don't-
please say, I
You're going
know,
to the wrong
please.
places. We're
Everybody
what
seems to
did.
know more. I don't
What-
understand why that is.
Well, I mean, this situation, I think that maybe someone else does, because this is where she's been. We're not a high-end place. I mean, we gotta realize where we are and who our demographic is. I mean, we're not selling to, some big fancy place. I mean, we have a T-shirt
We
kind
have
of demographic. I mean,
Well, that's inaccurate. We
You don't
sell
wear
two-
t-shirts on a golf course.
We
Well,
sell two golf
I mean,
bags
you could get
recently,
a
and we
top
sold
collared shirt.
a driver. So,
Yeah, but you could
People
put-
change drivers all the time.
They
You
do.
don't need to have
I
full
don't
sets
have
of
any
gloves.
data for that,
but-
and I can't get it either. I mean.
But we are selling bags. Can you please let me talk? They are selling bags. We are selling drivers at times. It's not like these are gonna be fast movers. I mean, we're not a Dick's Sporting Goods. You're right. But you have to have some. So
But you also
15,000
have a
isn't
limited
very
sales
much.
floor, and you should optimize that space and sell what you're,
We're working on that as well. We're working on that as well. You and I have had these conversations. I don't know why you never remember what we're talking
Nothing's
about.
changing. I mean, nothing's changed. I went to pictures of the place yesterday, and it's,
Maybe what you could do is come to the next finance committee meeting and bring those papers and let the finance committee deal with it in a smaller setting in a committee where there's more open time to do this, because this is really kind of a meeting. I mean, I can tell you, one of the problems with buying stuff, Josh never paid for his stuff. So he owed these companies big money. And then he shifted from his golf name to Turkey Mountain Golf Course, which then made us, so I know Charlie had a problem. They would not take our checks. Literally, they wouldn't take our checks. So there was issue getting stock from that. Now, whether that's been resolved, I don't know. But you could call the companies and find out.
well, I've got, I mean, okay. I mean, I don't think that's necessary. I think there's a ton of people that would supply us, and I just have to.
I was gonna say,
All right, well-
when I worked up there, I worked in the pro shop. You had inventory in there. A lot of the inventory was bought from Nick Knight when he left. They bought a lot of that inventory and then they stocked with some of theirs. People aren't gonna come up there and play with off-terrain golf balls. They're not gonna come up there and pay $1 and pull one out, maybe get $5 worth and go play. They'll wanna come buy a box of golf balls, what they wanna use. Top Flight, maybe, but I doubt it. But they want, Callaway, they want the name brands. And when you have tournaments, yeah, like she said, around here, it may be a t-shirt place. Guys that are members or around here and they play every day, they're not gonna go up there and buy a brand new bag because they're gonna go somewhere and buy a cheaper bag instead of buying what they've got up there. Now you have golf tournaments, we used to sell golf bags. Guys would come from everywhere and look at golf bags and yeah, hey, we'll sell you that, they buy it. I've been up there and sold 3 golf bags in one day at a golf tournament. They'll come in there and look at drivers. Like I said, they may want to change and have the best driver that's out this year. So they're gonna come in there, either work a trade, or they're gonna come in there and pay top price, $500. I've seen guys buy a driver for $500. Me, I'm not gonna buy a driver for $500.
But there was a
One, I don't
time
play
there
on the
was
circuit.
300 members up there too, and there isn't that anymore either.
Well, not anymore because the course is, but I'm
Right.
saying, back in the day, they did. And I'm telling you, we used to sell stuff there all the time. But this is back, of course, you don't like Josh, nobody in here likes Josh, but this is back in his day, I worked there in the pro shop. I worked in the pro shop, okay? I was the one selling stuff, working the golf, we had a window full of golf balls. We had all this inventory, big inventory, okay? Your local guys, yeah, they're gonna go to Mountain Home, buy a cheap place or wherever. But these guys that come in and play tournaments, or they come from out of town, they'll come in there and look at a box, hey, I wanna buy this box. Gloves, we used to sell crap loads of gloves, okay? The whole counter was full of gloves hanging. People come and get a new glove. If you don't have it, you can't sell it.
Well,
That's
if
what I'm
I
saying.
could-
It's not there, you're not gonna make any money.
If I could add that those contacts, they allow Spooner to buy at a much lower cost, so profit
And
is
we,
good.
But we don't
have
know what their
comparisons-
cost is. I can't.
We
get
have
that.
comparisons.
They'll figure it out.
I mean, I can't get that. I'm told that there are no inventory records.
Okay, that's.
And
right.
Yeah, and then I have a problem like with the,
Anything
with
you
the
buy
tournaments
should come with a
themselves.
receipt.
With the tournaments themselves, if I go to the online and I calculate how many tournaments we actually had, and then I show how many tournaments that we received income for, we're like, I don't know, a few, about $20,000 short. I mean, for the 2 years together, I mean, it's.
And that's always been a problem with the golf club.
So if somebody's gonna rent a
Always
course,
the golf
they're gonna
course.
rent the course for a tournament,
Uh-huh.
and you're telling me they didn't pay for the rent?
I'm saying,
So how'd they
we're
play the
not,
tournament?
I'm saying that we're not collecting it, or we're not.
She's saying the same thing that people have been saying here for years. The figures do not add up on the golf course.
And I'm not.
Well, then let me
And our
ask you
books
this,
also
if
show
the
that
figures
there's
don't add up, how did we
$46,000.
go from 234 to 285? And you said 180 or 170 something is all we generated. So your figures are wrong. We have an independent third-party program that keeps up with the figures. We can't change our numbers that we're putting into the system. Everything that
there's
goes
an
into,
there's an
Amber,
override
please let
problem.
me finish. Everything that goes through the system goes through a third-party program
And they're
that
just-
they have access to it at City Hall and at the pro shop. Now, as far as the pro shop, the bags, no sunlight ever comes on there, and the bags, if you go there now, they're not even over by the windows anyways.
I know.
But it's baby steps right now. We can't just all of a sudden jump into it and make everything perfect. We have to
Then
do,
don't take the money.
we have to take the money, Amberly. If we don't have the money, we don't generate the money. If
Well, no,
we
what you're gonna do
needed,
is-
listen, if we needed more money for the pro shop, that means we generated money. Now, if that money isn't properly being allocated, which I have argued about, that it doesn't need to go into Parks and Rec funds, it needs to go into a pro shop fund to where the following year, the pro shop funds already sees that this is how much the pro shop made in merchandise. We use those funds to restock the merchandise. That way we don't have to keep going back into Parks and Rec funds to be able to do that.
What's your $46,000 register leakage?
Using a third party is great, as long as you're not using override and coding your things correctly.
You're right.
And I've looked at the numbers as well as Amberly, and there are things that are coded, and it's like, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and we've
So-
dealt with that too. We've gone into the system and we've changed to where nobody can change it. No one can be admins anymore on it.
I think this is a really good discussion to have at finance in an open committee situation where Brad and everybody's not sitting here waiting for it. And we can spend till midnight if you want to, because there's a lot of serious issues here. And what you brought up is important. And there's a lot of questions about the numbers around the golf course.
Cameras,
And if there's only 44 members,
When Mr. Charlie McDaniel ran it, he put $10,000 in a drawer that everyone had access to. We don't do that. We don't do that.
That's just the tip of, I mean, there.
But back to that point, just skip the golf course, obviously, that's got everybody heated up. I wanna get back to the community building, that's what I brought up. We need to figure something.
Yep.
Thank you for bringing it up. But for the time being, we have another meeting place. Cedar Glades offered us their facilities for free, so we'll be meeting there until something gets figured out.
there you go.
And I don't want to have to move places, but we can't afford $100 per meeting, so.
You shouldn't have to.
It's ridiculous.
Yes.
I have two things. One, I would like, if it needs to be discussed in finance, moving the emergency warming center from the community center to somewhere more appropriate, that's more accessible to, thank you, to citizens, because no one can get up that hill.
No.
There needs to be some type of communication. If you need to get in, call this number, because there was nobody up there. And it's very.
The Catholic Church is the emergency center in Horseshoe Bend and has been for years. And as far as I know, Brian Billingsley said that, what's the church next to the Catholic
I
one?
mean, Brandon.
Brandon, the Baptist Church. My understanding is they've also opened a center in emergency that if people need a place to go, they've offered it there. But the Catholic Church is available,
And then the
and it
other-
always has been.
The other thing I'd like to address, and forgive me if this has been brought up, I did miss some meetings last year. There was, an email from Jeff Klein to, Dan Robinson and Alan Bathrick indicating some missing chemicals at the golf course last year to the tune of thousands of dollars that had been applied to the golf course incorrectly in his opinion. I want to know if that has been addressed and what the impact on the golf course was, because I did hear that the golf course was in good
suffered.
shape. And it suffered obviously from this, but this was thousands and thousands of dollars, and I know Dave was there at the meeting, Sean Draper was there. Has that been addressed at all?
$12,000 with a $20,000 remediation.
As far as I know, we can't speak on that legally.
There's your answer.
I've got pictures of it.
Well, I was gonna say, I have pictures of that chemical room at the beginning when Charlie and them left. And, none of those chemicals had been put on. They were all sitting there on the shelf. Now, where they went after that,
They're talking about the chemicals that Wally Mettler put on the golf.
Yes.
I don't know.
They were doing
So
about
were they
$8,000.
applied?
They went on the golf course.
Well, Charlie, Wally did double the dosage on there.
That's what we're
Yeah,
talking
he
about.
did. And he needed to. And if you go up there and I can show you the pictures of the weeds that came back after him double dosing it because they didn't keep it up. I mean, they even had people out there with weed eaters trying to get the stuff off, weeds off the fairways.
That, I mean.
They hired people with weed eaters because they didn't put the chemicals on.
So Jeff Klein is the turf specialist that makes recommendations. We pay for him.
Yes,
And Wally decided to double the dosage when it was actually not doubled. It was to the tune of like 80 times.
Jeff Klein was not there when Wally was there.
yeah. Yeah, Jeff
So-
Klein
He
wasn't
was
there when
not
Wally
there.
was
He
running it.
came in later.
Let Jeff Klein go when Wally was there.
So,
And then
Jeff
I
Klein's
came up there.
statement is, from what he saw, it was empty 5-gallon jugs. There were $1,000. Those jugs are like $4,000 a piece on that. He says, I can't tell you what the court's gonna do. I've never seen anybody apply that
I don't think
kind
your
of,
microphone's on, by the way.
it's on.
It's not
Klein
like.
just started
amplified.
talking into it.
Better now?
No, it's not working.
That's right.
Lights out.
No, it's on. It's not amplifying your voice at all, sorry.
Sorry, I'll speak louder. How's that? It's on. I can't help what it's doing. However, directly speaking to Jeff Klein, he said, I cannot tell you what it's gonna do. I have no idea. I've never seen anybody put that kind of dosage anywhere, anytime. It should not, but I have no idea what kind of damage it can do. Because no one has ever applied that concentration on any course he's ever seen. And he's got years and years' experience used by people around here. And that was his statement. He has no idea what to do. He says later, after the fact, all those torrential rains we got kept it from being a total wipeout of the grass.
Did you notify the insurance?
Excuse me?
Did you notify our insurance?
Again, I'm dealing with us obtaining it in April, and it was done prior to us obtaining it. No, I did not.
Well, there's other people that need to be notified as well, like the DNR, the EPA, there's a watershed, so that torrential rain makes that
It went somewhere, you're
fertilizer
right.
go into our that's a problem. So I'm just kind of seeing that possibly was a mismanaged situation and what's being done to correct it.
Again, according to Jeff, there's no way of taking it off once it's applied.
No, but you could
Charcoal,
put, charcoal could have been applied at the tune of $20,000 to see if it would neutralize it. Had that been addressed at all? Was that a thought?
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah,
So
I'm
it
not
was
an
addressed and they were looking at the expense of it. And when they went through there, like I said, when I was there, Alan, and with Klein, we all went in there, inventoried all the chemicals. And that's what we come up with, the shortage and all the 5-gallon buckets that were done on the golf course. And like he said, the only thing that's gonna save you, yeah, we could do charcoal, but he was talking about the expense. It was quite a big expense.
20,000, yeah.
Told us there in the chemical room. And he said, what I would do is let's see what the rain's gonna do. And he said, if you'll have enough rain, it'll take care of it, which it did. It took care of itself. And one thing I'm gonna say,
because I was there. We never had a weed eater on the fairways, weed eating weeds. We never had weed eaters out there when I was there, okay? I was there when Alan was there. We went through, we had weed eaters, weed eating around the pro shop up there. That's what people are gonna see. So they come in, we weed eat, well, people are gonna first see the golf course. And then we're starting to weed eat like down number one, okay? That's what the weed eater, we had two guys. They're working out there in the 105 heat index, okay? With pair of jeans on because they're weed eating. So they got out there, they took a lunch break, that's it. Two guys doing the course. Everybody else was doing their jobs, what they needed to be doing. But what I'm saying, when we first got there and seen all that chemical in the, we went in there and inventory. He came up there. We called him. Matter of fact, I called him to come up there and do me a favor. Come up there and look at the course, please. He did that for free. He come up there twice, didn't charge nothing. He said, I'm coming up here because you asked me to come up here. Looked at everything, that's what he said.
Okay.
True, the charcoal thing would
Enough.
probably work, that's a lot of money.
Any other comments?
Can I ask one more question while we're on this topic of the golf course?
No, if it's about the golf
Well,
course,
it's-
no, I don't want any more questions about the golf
It's
course.
about water, because obviously the majority of the water that goes to the golf course comes from Crown Lake. And if you guys haven't seen Crown Lake, it's at its lowest it's probably ever been. If we continue to pull water out of the lake to water the golf course and we don't get rain this spring, we're gonna have a really big problem. So just throwing that on the back burner, golf course might not need to be watered every other day.
Well, you got all the homeowners that are pumping water out.
I understand, but the majority is gonna go.
Well,
Do what?
We had pumps out. They had pumps down, so it didn't water.
I'm not blaming it just on the golf course, but I know a lot of the water does go up to the golf course.
We had an unusual withdrawal.
is there any other topics besides the golf course that you want to discuss this evening that will take 3 minutes? Do I have a motion for adjournment? Because I've actually had enough. Do I have a second? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. We are adjourned. Any opposed? Okay, now you got uploaded, sorry.
Are you done?
We didn't get to do-
I think so. I finally got out.
We have. Apparently gets very hard.
Bandit's been talking.
I did a podcast. Yeah, and so he's got somebody. Yeah, and he's got somebody just contacted me. And she is like, you're gonna broadcast with him anyway. We talked.
She's not here, but anyway.
I've got a couple of kids. I mean, it just kind of fizzled out after a while, so. Yes.
This is part of the deal. You know?
I know.
When you bring her to the meeting, you hear.
There's so much. Oh, I know.